Okay. So I'm just going to keep up with the format here. Everybody's scrapping in the house because the Queen of England is showing up tomorrow, people. The health nurse. That's what I'm going to name this video. The Queen of England is coming to the house because she has to come here and after 2 years verify that Amari needs to go on this program that's connected to the provincial government of British Columbia, Canada, that's designed specifically for children with cerebral palsy and other such symptoms. And what she does is she writes down on a form, yes, he can't do this, yes, he can't do that, yes, I've been in the home, I can see that he lives there. Or whatever she's going to write down, because we already know what's in her file when it regards Shimei. So that she can take it in front of a committee so they might show me some compassion and approve the program. But of course, you know, this is just a precursor for the next person to walk through the door. And because the government has basically got my kids jumping through fucking hoops here, right? You know, catering to a man that injured their sister as he lurks in the fucking background and everybody's running around kissing his ass. Right? Never know when he's gonna spring again. Pretty much boils down to that. What do you call it? You know, we're slightly stressed out here. Because it's just a matter of time before those people call the cops on me or MCFD on me. And in regards to this health nurse, well, sorry people, you know how I feel about the healthcare system and those kind of people, aka the public union sector. Right? I don't have too many friends in the system, people. And so this is just a train wreck coming. Right? Because it's not going to get easier, it's just going to get harder. Right? So what I'm going to do here, I just want to finish up this video. The apple that I put in first was the apple that I did the other, a week ago, 4 days, 5 days ago, or whatever it was, and I forgot about it in the fridge. And I just mixed it with some fresh apple today to make apple butter in this smaller crock pot that I have. So I'm going to turn this on, and hopefully by tomorrow night I'll be able to can this with the apple juice that I made today. Plus, because my son, even though I was arguing with him today, right, was asking if there's any applesauce, so I'm going to start with this because I gave some of this to Amari with honey, unpasteurized, wildflower honey, and a little bit of avocado oil, and he really liked it. So after this apple butter, with the rest of the apples. I'm going to continue to make juice, but I'm going to make a makeshift applesauce, and I'm going to can them in 1 pint size jars for as many as I have left around here. You know, I'll do a few of these, and I've got the longer ones too, right? I've got this size as well, I seen, so I'll do some of these sizes. That's a half pint, 1 pint. Now, in regards to these apple peels, what I did, I'll show you. And here's the assembly line. That's going to be the next batch of apple butter. This I'm going to can tomorrow when I do the juice. Hopefully I'll do this. I'll do these two together hopefully by the evening of tomorrow. I'll put honey and whatever in here and do some of these sizes, or even, yeah, some of those sizes, 1 pint jars. Half pint jars for Amari. This is the juice with just a straight up apple that's been peeled. Obviously it's sweeter because you don't have the peel. This is much sweeter, where this one here has more of a bite because it has the peel. And it's much more bland. However, it's not, I don't think it's something that I would do all the time, outside of maybe I'd want the nutrients. What I did is I just boiled them in water and then brought it down to a slow simmer, and I just simmered it. And now I'm just going to let it strain for as best as it can for the night. And I might as well, to get my money's worth, and there are nutrients in the peel, it just doesn't taste as good as this one. I'm going to put this one in here, and then if I have to, I'll use just a bit more sugar. This is this plum sauce that I made last night, and it tasted really, really good. I haven't gotten to the plums today because I was hollering and screaming half the day over the stress that the public union sector brings upon my family time after time. Got everybody fucking running like there's fire under the feet. Right? So, I'm under scrutiny tomorrow, considering that Shmei is listed as a drug user who had a baby that came out addicted to opiates because it tested positive in his pee. So they say, even though they chose to ignore her for 2 fucking days, have her come in on the 3rd day, after they sent her away for 2 days, and then throughout the day did whatever they fucking did, and then in the last 3 to 6 minutes decided to give her an emergency C-section. I'm going to ask this nurse tomorrow, people. I'm going to say, I would like a copy of this piece of paper that you're reading from. How can I get it? Let's see how she answers that one. Okay, so what is it? August 8th or August 9th? It's Wednesday, 2019. This is what I'm going to do right now, people. I have twice as much in the fridge, and the tree's still dropping. I'm just washing them. What I do is I take just a little bit of dish soap, and I just rub my hands through the water. You can see it's not a lot of dish soap, just a little bit. rinse it. Then I'll do these ones on this side. Then I'll throw everything into one. Then I'll fill this up with water and I'll start peeling. But here's the thing. I've got this health nurse coming tomorrow. So Tisha's on a rampage. Because we got that fire under our feet, people. Right? Anyway. This is the handiwork of City Surrey Council. Surrey City Council. That was the harvest for this year in terms of walnuts. From one lonely tree. Actually, two. Because Andre found one more. And that's just the English walnut. No black walnut. Okay. So anyway, this is what people balk. Okay, balk in terms of, after I'm showing you this, I'm going to show you these apples. These, when Tisha and I take them downstairs, they're going straight into storage. They're just going straight there. So we're not moving them twice, we're moving them once. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a little list. And then at some point I'm going to go into the grocery store and I'm going to price out organic blackberry juice, assuming that you can even find it, which you probably can't. But organic something anyway, as well as organic apple juice. Because now I'm getting back into apples, right? I had a detour and the blackberries are ripening, so. So what I'm gonna do, hold on a minute. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do a rough guesstimate in terms of dollar amount, as if you were to buy this stuff in a store. And then at the end, after it's all said and done, and there's no more apples to do or whatever, I'm going to do a dollar amount in terms of how much I've spent in terms of, well, obviously I have to buy lids, but I haven't even used 5 pounds of sugar, people. Like, what, these big bags come in at 10 pounds a bag, so we'll say at best maybe seven. Oh God, I haven't used that much. Hold on. These apples are sweet. They don't require a lot of sugar. But this is what people balk at. You know, this is, balking, like they're mocking, they're like laughing, you know, thinking I'm wasting my time. Or being foolish. Or, I don't know. Like, they don't care about the apple trees, people. They don't understand. If they don't have access to this stuff throughout the community, you know, then you're confined to whatever local grocery stores the people who run the economy, what do you call, provide to you as a citizen for your neighborhood, right? Okay. So then what happens after you wash your apples, you find yourself stationary for the next 2 to 3 hours of your life, peeling apples. And if your mother never taught you how to peel apples, or your grandma or whoever, you take your apple, a fairly sharp knife, you come in and you go just lightly on the skin. And just go round and around. Try and take off as little as possible. And just, I don't know, get on with it. Don't feel sorry for yourself that you have a whole sink full of apples, some of them very small. But again, these are like, and these ones were in the fridge downstairs, so they're nice and crunchy, and They've been preserved very well until I can get to them, but they're still falling, so I have to do this today, right? And then tomorrow, what's going to happen today is I am going to steam these, take out as much juice as I can, and then I'm going to immediately put them in the crock pot, a different one that I have, a little bigger one, right? And I'm going to take what I have in the fridge there, add to it, and then I'm going to cook them up, and then tomorrow in the afternoon I'll can them. And then get into the next batch. Well, I'll be canning the juice. Depends if I do this twice today. If I do 2 sinks full, I'll have enough to because I'm on a schedule, right? I have potatoes to do now. What do you call it? It's better to have one big pot of juice gets me 5 jars of apple juice, 5 quarts, so that's not so bad. So even if I do the one, I can can the apple juice right along with the apple butter if I start the apple butter later on, which I'm going to, because I'll can those 2, and just as I'm canning those 2, I'll be getting ready to do this again. So I spend a lot of time here at this time of year between potatoes, squash, plums, apples, whatever it is, right? Cucumbers, not this year. What I've noticed about growing food and canning and all this other stuff is as the years go by, and then when you come into a bruise like that, all you do is you come in with your knife and you take it out. Do you see? And then you pick up where you left off. And just go around and around and around. And then you think and think and think. Right? And sometimes I get very lonely. Uncle John should be walking in, getting ready to make his coffee. Alright? Kids should be running by. So even if your apple doesn't come out all nice and rounded, because you took out a big chunk, doesn't matter. Just throw it in your water and away you go. What I'm trying to say is, when you do stuff like this, you find yourself in corners, like by the sink, for hours at a time. But I can tell you, by the time I'm done doing this, people, after I factor in my cost, now yes, I did buy some new jars, so I've spent about $100 on jars, because I bought $70 worth of jars and lids at Canadian Tire, remember? And then I bought a box of jars for 10 bucks. I'm thinking to buy some more for 20, but I have to drive 25 minutes away to get to them, so I'm not sure about that. And so we'll just round it off at $100 for jars and lids for this year. But by the time I'm done, I'll probably have, well, I don't know, I don't want to get cocky with it, but I'd say anywhere between $500 to $1,000 worth of food, with probably no more than $150 investment, if that. Because the only thing that took up any kind of amount of anything, and I can't say 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds broke the bank, because it didn't. You know, in terms of sugar, I don't know. I've probably only used 7 cups in all since I've started this whole process. So that's not even a 10-pound bag of sugar. Right? Although I need to buy sugar, because I am using it. And look at that. Off a tree that nobody wanted. Off a tree that they're cutting down because they don't want you to have it, people. They want you to go to your local whatever it is and go buy these at 89 cents to $1.89 a pound. And lots of them are sprayed. Okay, so I'm almost done this now, and what I've decided to do, I'm going to try it. I've done it once before and I didn't like the result, but see that? That's the apple peel. So I'm going to get back into that bucket, and after I'm done this, I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to pick out the better apple peels, and I'll put them in a big pot, and I'm going to stew them. Because with that, after it's said and done, if I like the taste of it, people, then I will make syrup with it. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I did that once before, but the apples I used were not apples from the tree, right? They were apples that I had bought in a food store. You know, one of those smaller vegetable and fruit stores, those kind of things. And probably on sale, the apples. I thought they were not sprayed because they came in on big vats from the valley, but I ended up doing their peels, and by the time I was done, the liquid, it tasted like wax. I couldn't use it. Now if I eat this peel, it's like you can taste the sourness of it, right? In terms of like the pectin in the apple. So anyway, I thought I'd try that. So after I'm done this, almost done getting these started, I'm just going to go through these peels quickly, put them in a pot, cook them up, that kind of thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all the seeds too. I'm going to save the seeds for seedling room, aka hen house. So, if you don't know, when you're now doing this, you go, you go around, can you see? Turn it around. If you catch something, you just trim it off. Flip over your apple. Now you go, you put your thumb in the middle of the apple, and then you just try not to cut the core if you can, right? Because it doesn't really soften up the way you like it, right? So try and avoid the core. If you miss a little, just go in there with a knife. Burner's on. It's getting hot again. There you go. So, great. We'll be back. Okay, so went through the peels, got the better ones, right? And I put in just a few slices of apples, not too many. And now I'm just going to stew this for the next few hours, people. See what we get. And we've got another 5 jars at least of apple juice coming, so hold on.